are so excited to host each of you all to honor some outstanding women who have made amazing, amazing strides and blazed trails in excellence for women in our city and across the globe. Mayor Muriel Bowser is here to honor in our historic annual occasion, but really special this year because this year she made history as the first two-term female mayor in the history of the District of Columbia. Yes. So we're so excited this year to honor some amazing women, and the honor comes from Mayor Muriel Bowser and her Commission for Women. So I'm gonna ask the commissioners who are here to raise your hand. We are so glad to honor them. Thank you, commissioners, and thank you for your continued work on behalf of women in the district. Women's History Month each year is commemorated in the month of March, but we know that all throughout the year, women are blazing trails and making history. This year, as we honor women, we ask each of you to identify ways that in your circle, in your sphere, that you can empower and honor women. We know that empowering women each day starts with each of us, and we know that great leadership starts at the head. We have a dynamic woman, a dynamic leader, a power shero, and we are so excited to have her honor our guests and honorees tonight. Without further ado, I would like to introduce to you the mayor, the shero, the dynamic leader of the District of Columbia. Please stand for the Honorable Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. Well, good evening, everybody. And happy Women's History Month to each and every one of you. Welcome to the beautiful Easter Market in Ward 6 in Washington, D.C., where we decided to use one of our own beautiful buildings to host you tonight. I want to add my welcome to welcoming Jennifer Porter as the director, the new director of the Mayor's Office on Women's Policy and Initiative. So please give Jennifer a big welcome. And of course, we want to congratulate Kimberly Bassett and her team for the wonderful work that they did for me in the Office of Women's Policy in my first term. Kimberly, of course, now serves as the Secretary of State for Washington, D.C. So congratulations, Kimberly. And also to our commissioners who are here. These women come together not just in Women's History Month, but each and every month, examining the policies and initiatives and programs and services and budgets of the District of Columbia to ensure that they reflect women and how we can change the trajectory for women and families in the District of Columbia. Now, it is true that all across the country, women make woefully less than men, and that's not fair, is it? For the same work. That is not fair. But we do know in our city, we stand above many cities because women here make 92 cents on the dollar to what men make. So are we going to make up that 8 cents this year? But that number is not equal across our city. Black women make significantly less. Latina women make significantly less than that. So we know that we have to continue to focus on how we attract women to the highest levels of corporate leadership, educational leadership, religious leadership, journalistic leadership, nonprofit leadership, on boards, on commissions, in every way so that they can help guide the policies that affect us. What we saw in the last year, in many ways, was the year of the woman in politics, however. And when I became mayor, there were a handful of women who led big cities. Really, I think I could count on my hand 4. And since then, we have added women mayors in Atlanta, Georgia, and New Orleans, Louisiana, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And now we will add a woman in Chicago, Illinois. We have also added more women in the House of Representatives. And I don't know where you stand on the spectrum or what do you think about our politics, but that AOC is something else, isn't she? I've never seen a freshman congresswoman get so much power. And we know that that energy, and she's representative of a freshman class that has brought a lot of energy and courage and willingness to question the status quo and fight for what's important to us. And they are led by a mighty, awesome woman from Baltimore, now San Francisco, and Nancy Pelosi as the Speaker of the House, the only woman ever elected to that position, and now elected twice. So we have a lot of work to do, we know, in our city. Because there's still too many statistics that we can point to that affect women and girls and children in our city that are not good. And when we look at the experience of women, mothers, especially African American women in our city, we know that we have to change their outcomes, their maternal outcomes. Last year, I hosted the first ever for our city, Maternal and Infant Health Summit, where I invited my fellow female mayors, actually I invited the male mayors too, the women showed up, to come to our Maternal and Infant Health Summit right here in DC. I thought we would have a few hundred people show up. Then we thought we would have 600 people show up. It turns out that 1,200 people came. They were joined by mayors, they were joined by health professionals and experts, and they were joined by moms and would-be moms and children. And the whole focus was how we in our city can concentrate and focus on well women. We know that well women have healthier birth outcomes. And so that is a challenge and a charge to all of us to make sure the health insurance that we invest in, all of the primary care that we invest in, the specialists that we want to attract, and all of the emergency services that we need, we are able to provide in our city. So stay tuned for what we will do this year when we host another maternal and infant health summit in our city. We will lock arms with our cities. We're not alone in this work. And so we want to share our best practices, and others can share theirs with us about how we have well women and well babies in our city. We have also spent the last 4 years really focused on how we help professional women navigate the corporate world, negotiate for better pay and benefits, for making sure that we have the type of leave that supports families and supports a vibrant economy, and we will continue to do that. We work with Council Member Anita Bonds, who got a bill through Council to take a tax off of being a woman, and we were able to eliminate the tax on menstrual hygiene products in Washington, D.C. And next up, we're working on getting rid of the diaper tax too, so stay tuned for that. This year, we also opened the first ever public school for girls in Washington, D.C. called the Excel Academy in Ward 8. And we continue to focus on the needs of our girls. The women that you will hear from tonight have all excelled in Washington, D.C. They are powerhouses in their fields. They are trailblazers in so many ways, and they're paving the way for future generations of women and girls. And we also have trailblazers among us. Sometimes we look when really far away, when that we should be looking close to mothers and aunts and coworkers and colleagues who have been inspirations to all of us. And I'm inspired each day by the women who work for me, many of whom are here. Members of my cabinet, please wave your hand and be recognized. Thank you for being here. And so together, we will continue to do the work that's so important for our city. I like to close by saying thank you for having the faith in us and giving us your trust for another 4 years to work on the issues that are so critical to us. So many of the investments that we make in our schools and healthcare and human services and ending homelessness and transforming TANF and making sure that we're investing in small and local businesses affect the women of Washington, D.C. In fact, they mostly affect the women of Washington, D.C. So we'll keep doing that work and you keep excelling. Thank you very much.
Miss Michaela Sharif, Miss India Skinner, and Miss Bria Snell, better known as the S3 Trio, are 12th graders at Banneker High School who developed a method to purify lead-contaminated water in school drinking fountains, becoming the only all-black female team on the East Coast in the history of NASA's prestigious National High School competition. Miss Sharif, Miss Skinner, and Miss Snell have been selected as the 2019 Washington Women of Excellence Washington Rising Stars. On behalf of Mayor Muriel Bowser, congratulations and thank you for your commitment and outstanding service to the District of Columbia. Dorothy Butler Gilliam is a journalist who was the first African American reporter at the Washington Post. In 1997, she also created the Young Journalist Development Program for the Washington Post, which was designed to bring more young people into the journalism world. Ms. Butler Gilliam has been selected as the 2019 Washington Women of Excellence Washington Trailblazer. On behalf of Mayor Muriel Bowser, congratulations and thank you for your commitment and outstanding service to the District of Columbia. Marcia Greenberger is the creator of the Emerita of the National Women's Law Center, the first full-time women's rights legal advocate in Washington, D.C. Ms. Greenberger has been selected as the 2019 Washington Women of Excellence Women in Social Justice. On behalf of Mayor Muriel Bowser, congratulations and thank you for your commitment and outstanding service to the District of Columbia. Aza Nethari is the founder and executive director of Mama Toto Village, a nonprofit organization that trains and provides perinatal community health workers for some of Washington, D.C.'s most high-risk mothers. Ms. Nethari has been selected as the 2019 Washington Women of Excellence Leader in Maternal Health. On behalf of Mayor Muriel Bowser, congratulations and thank you for your commitment and outstanding service to the District of Columbia. Caroline Pugh is the Chief of Staff at Nav Health, a healthcare data analytics company based in Washington, D.C. In 2015, Ms. Pugh was named 15 female entrepreneurs to watch in 2015 by Entrepreneur magazine. Ms. Pugh has been selected as the 2019 Washington Women of Excellence Women in Tech. On behalf of Mayor Muriel Bowser, congratulations and thank you for your commitment and outstanding service to the District of Columbia. Frisky Tolliver is the first female coach during the Wizards' 58 seasons and the first active WNBA player to serve as an NBA assistant coach. Miss Tolliver has been selected as the 2019 Washington Woman of Excellence first female groundbreaker. On behalf of Mayor Muriel Bowser, congratulations and thank you for your commitment and outstanding service to the District of Columbia.
So we are so grateful that you came for our formal program, but we know that the empowerment and the excellence of women in Washington does not end today. Please continue to join Mayor Muriel Bowser's Office on Women's Policy and Initiatives for other opportunities. We have classes, we have workshops, we have empowerment throughout the year. You can follow us at women.dc.gov. We want to thank each of you for coming. Thank you to our honorable guests. Thank you so much to all of our commissioners who've come and our honorees, all of your family and friends who've come out to support you all. I want to take this time to thank the MOWPI staff, our Deputy Director, Angela Richardson, come on up, and Alex Chambers. We know that empowered women empower women, and so I just want to thank our staff who've worked so hard to make this event a fantastic event. Thank you.